On July 9, Donald Trump's punitive tariffs could take effect, unless a last-minute deal spares European exporters from cars to pharmaceuticals. Since returning to office in January, Trump has clashed with the EU harder than ever, forcing Brussels to decide whether to fold, hold the line, or escalate. European goods entering the US could soon face a 50% duty. Peace offers from Commission President Ursula von der Leyen have gone nowhere. Brussels is even considering teaming up with the Asia-Pacific trade bloc, which now includes the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, in Michigan, the sounds of assembly lines aren't just clanging metal, they're the groans of an industry under siege. Tariffs on steel, aluminum, and auto parts have delivered billion-dollar losses to Detroit's biggest players. Trump wants quick wins. Canada wants long-term stability. Each side is playing poker with very different hands. But here's the twist: one side is quietly winning without throwing a single punchback, and it's not the one you'd expect. Detroit's automakers are bleeding cash before cars even leave the factory floor. GM lost $1 billion in the second quarter alone. Stellantis reported $2.7 billion in first-half losses. The problem isn't demand. Dealerships still have traffic. The problem is tariffs. A steel sheet that once cost $800 now costs over $1,000. Multiply that across tens of thousands of cars, and suddenly billions vanish. And it's not just steel, aluminum frames, imported electronics, and transmissions all carry extra costs. Even American-made cars are hit because their supply chains stretch across the globe. The result? Rising sticker prices. A $28,000 sedan is now closer to $32,000 without a single upgrade. Families delay purchases, sales stall, and the industry sputters. For Detroit, tariffs aren't a patriotic win. They're like hitting a pothole at full speed and blowing all four tires. Across the border, Canada is playing a very different game. Instead of retaliating with tariffs, they're building resilience. Their leverage isn't in shouting matches, it's in energy. Canada exports massive amounts of oil and gas south. Cutting that would cause political chaos in the US, so they don't even need to threaten. More importantly, Canada is positioning itself for the future. Bill C-5, the One Canadian Economy Act, slashes red tape for mining and refining projects. Instead of waiting a decade, new operations can launch much faster, unlocking domestic supplies of lithium, nickel, and cobalt. Companies like Electrovaya are already producing advanced batteries in Ontario for heavy-duty trucks and energy storage. Canada is quietly building a homegrown supply chain for critical minerals and batteries, the exact ingredients for the next industrial era. It's the kind of long-term strategy that makes an economy harder to squeeze when trade wars flare. While Trump revs the engine for quick political wins, Canada is calmly changing the oil and upgrading the parts. One approach burns rubber fast. The other builds an engine that lasts. So here's the question: should the US keep chasing short-term victories with tariffs, or start playing the patient, boring, but effective long game like Canada? Because if the slow driver keeps gaining ground, the next trade war trophy might just have a maple leaf stamped on it.